Hi, I am Augustine Fer, a PhD student in the laboratory of Petronella Ancuta, and today I will present the result from a clinical trial that we did in a lab on the effect of the metformin treatment on non-diabetic heart-treated people living with HIV. I have nothing to disclose. As you know, the antiretroviral therapy is not optimal. Hearts do not clear the infection and the virus persists in reservoir. After treatment interruption, we will see a rapid rebound of the viral load in the plasma. Hearts penetrate poorly in a specific tissue and cells, and this may prevent the clearance of the virus. The HIV infection will cause a severe depletion of the CD4 T cells in the mucosa, and the heart treatment do not restore the mucosal immune system. And finally, the hearts do not block the HIV transcription that will lead to a chronic inflammation state. In the literature, it is known that mTOR is involved in the HIV replication cycles. In this paper published in 2017, Eric Verdin showed that the mTOR complex is involved in the HIV latency. In fact, mTOR can help to reactivate the virus. We also showed in our lab in 2017 that mTOR is mainly expressed in CCR6 positive T cells within the gut. So CCR6 positive T cells are mainly Th17 cells. And we also showed that mTOR increases Th17 permissiveness to HIV infection. So the Th17 cells are really important to maintain the mucosal homeostasis, and the infection of these cells can lead to severe depletion of Th17 cells within the gut, and this depletion will lead to a chronic inflammation state. In collaboration with the lab of Dr. Jean-Pierre Routy, Dr. Nicolas Chaumont, and Dr. Jonathan Angel, we made the hypothesis that mTOR inhibition can prevent residual HIV transcription on the heart and may represent a new class of drug for the block and lock strategies. We think that using mTOR inhibitors in complement of the heart may decrease chronic inflammation. So the metformin is an indirect mTOR inhibitor that is usually used to treat type 2 diabetes. So for this clinical trial, we named it LILAC study. We recruited 22 people living with HIV. So they were treated for 12 weeks with the metformin twice a day. Blood and column biopsy were collected just before the treatment. We also collected blood and column biopsy 12 weeks after the beginning of the treatment, and blood was collected 12 weeks after the end of the metformin treatment. The aim of the study was to evaluate the safety of the metformin and also to evaluate the immunological and virological effect. Participants recruited for the LILAC study were non-diabetic, under heart for more than 3 years, with an undetectable viral load in the plasma for more than 3 months, and with a low CD4-CD8 ratio. The first thing that we explored was the effect of the metformin treatment on the inflammation marker in the plasma by multiplex. We observed a significant increase in the CCL11 level in the plasma, as we can see on this graph. So it's known that CCL11 is involved in the is a ligand of CCR5. We also observed a decrease in the CCL20 level in the plasma. So CCL20 is a ligand of CCR6, and this axis, CCL20, CCR6, is involved in the recruitment of immune cells in the gut. We also noticed a decrease of CXCL10 in the plasma after 12 weeks of treatment. And CXCL10 is a pro-inflammatory cytokine that is known to stimulate HIV replication in vitro. I didn't show you the result. I didn't show you the graph on this slide, but we also noticed a decrease in the soluble CD14 level in the plasma. So soluble CD14 is a known marker of the microbial translocation. So we wanted to measure the impact of the metformin treatment on the size of the HIV reservoir in the blood. To do so, we did 4 different techniques. So the first one was the integrated HIV DNA PCR. The second one was a cell-associated HIV RNA RT-PCR. We also did a tilde assay and the reactivation assay by QVUA. Unfortunately, we didn't see any effect on the size of the reservoir after 12 weeks of the metformin treatments. It's known that the HIV reservoir is very stable, and we think that 12 weeks of the metformin may not be sufficient to have an effect on the size of the reservoir. After that, we measure the T-cell activation by measuring the HLA-DR expression on the surface of the cells, and even though we noticed an inter-individual heterogeneity, we saw an overall decrease on T-cell activation in both column-infiltrating CD4 T cells and also in the population of CD8 T cells. As I said earlier, metformin is an mTOR inhibitor, and CCR6 positive CD4 T cells within the gut highly express the activated form of mTOR, as we can see on these dot plots. After 12 weeks of treatment, we saw an important decrease in the frequency of cells that express the activated form of mTOR, and this result was confirmed with all the biopsy, and we see that the decrease in the phosphorylated mTOR frequency is more robust in the CCR6 positive population. mTOR is involved in the HIV transcription. So we explored the effect of the metformin on HIV residual transcription known to induce chronic inflammation states. So Amélie Pagliuca from Dr. Nicolas Chaumon's lab measures the level of HIV transcription in column memory CD4 T cells, and we saw that after 12 weeks of treatment, metformin reduced the residual transcription for 8 out of 13 participants. In conclusion, for the LILAC study, we saw that the metformin was well tolerated by 21 participants out of 22. We also noticed a decreasing tendency in some inflammation markers. We noticed a decrease in T-cell activation and mTOR phosphorylation, meaning that the cells are less active and have lower metabolic states. Even though we did not notice a reduction in the size of the reservoir, we saw a decrease in the viral transcription. So this clinical trial suggests that the metformin could be beneficial to reduce chronic inflammation. Further investigation on a longer period are needed to see an effect on the HIV reservoir. I would like to thank my supervisor, Dr. Petronella Ancouta. I would like to thank Delphine Palanas, who performed most of the experiment did in this study. She is now doing a postdoc at the Pasteur Institute. I would like to thank our collaborator, Dr. Jean-Pierre Routy, Dr. Jonathan Engel, and also Dr. Nicolas Chaumont and Amélie Pagliuca. I thank all the platform, and I would also like to thank the participants of the study. And finally, I thank the organizing committee and you for your attention. If you have any question, please feel free to contact me or my supervisor with the email address right on this last slide. Thank you.